Call this meeting to order. It is Wednesday, March 26, 2025, and it's at 10 a.m. and we are here to have a ambulance service district update. And I will turn it over to one of the chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, I just got back from
Chief
gone for a
Dietrich?
while,
Okay.
but I actually have no idea what the intent of the meeting was. I just knew what was happening, so I came. But as far as I know, everything in the ambulance district is kind of status quo and running okay.
Okay.
We still have occasionally issues with ambulances with maintenance issues, but it's nothing out of the ordinary, and we're just fixing those as we can. I think all that's still within budget. Yeah, otherwise, you've been here more than I have lately.
I think the only key points from last month's meeting, I apologize, I don't have the call numbers in front of me. I think they stayed pretty much relatively the same percentage of refusal rates, which hovers between about 20 and 30%. It's a little bit higher usually in the wintertime just due to vehicle crashes and passerbyers calling 911, even though, let's say, the person involved in the accident themselves didn't call 911. So it's more common for more refusals in the wintertime. Otherwise, it's been a very kind of up and hill week for us. I mentioned, I think it was before I was late to the meeting for multiple reasons. We had, historically, these districts probably get anywhere from 6 to 8 calls kind of a day. It was about an average. And we had, I think, 7 in an hour and 20 minutes.
Wow.
Last Thursday. And I think 18 or 20 total for that whole day. Nothing particular about that day that made it any kind of crazier than a little bit of normal rain. However, the positive note is that every single call was answered in a timely manner, and everything was taken care of. So big props really to the crews and the people coming from home and signed up for staffing extra ambulances. Why we didn't have any issues that day. That is the only big thing of note. Both ambulance district did apply. I think the grant letter that you all wrote for us in support of, that was submitted. So we'll just wait to hear back from that.
Now on the ambulances, do you have a fourth out, or do you just have a third out?
We have currently have 5 working ambulances.
Okay, so on that day, did you have 4 or 5?
We had 3.
Three,
The
okay.
county is always staffed 24/7 with 2 ambulances. However, we've implemented a program to staff a third out in case of for transfers that are anywhere from Coeur d'Alene, Spokane, Kalispell, Missoula. That third out will take that to keep our 911 ambulances in house.
Okay.
But that day, that third ambulance was staffed, and they ran from 7 in the morning till about 6 at night.
Wow.
Which is very unusual, but at the same time, that was the savings bacon for that day for sure.
That third out staffed ambulance is not mandatory. It's when we get people to sign up for it. So, yeah, right now, what do you think? About 50% of the time we have it staffed and 50% we don't. That's just nice.
Okay. All right. Any questions on your end?
I also wanted to bring up, because it was brought up in the meeting with the board, about having Timmy come in. But I don't know if that's something we need to take to Ben.
Yeah, that was something we probably needed to take to Ben, because you are the board. You're part of the board. You're the secretary. So yeah, we'd have to recall that. So then you can limit.
Do updates. So
do updates.
Yeah.
They don't have time. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tend to get busy.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll see that.
Yeah.
Do you have anything
Besides
on
the
that?
update, I do have a question for you guys or something to run by you. So, since I've been here, I approve all the calls for billing, and we have a third-party billing company that does our bills. There's been a handful of times where I've sent calls of transports from the jail to the hospital to billing, and sometimes they've gone through and sometimes they haven't. But I recently got an email from them saying that we have a policy somewhere that we don't bill for those transports within the county. It's not a statute. It's just something we've done where we're not going to bill for jail transports. I can't find a record of that. I don't know if that would be on record somewhere at the county, but I would like to address that. We're completely 2 separate budgets. I don't want to bill the taxpayers twice. I don't think it's necessarily appropriate to bill the patient twice if they're already paying, if the jail is covering those expenses. But at the same time, I don't think it's fair for the ambulance district to have to go up and run those calls for free.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can't bill the patient, I want to come up with some program where we get reimbursed from the sheriff's department
Okay.
for those transports. Because I mean, it's really not. I mean, there's days that we'll run, 2 or 3 calls up to the jail and transport them in one day. It doesn't
Okay.
happen every day, but at the same time, every time we're spending time and sending an ambulance crew up there using our medical supplies,
Mhm.
we're not getting reimbursed for that at all right now.
And it's up to the what it is. It's the jail's medical is basically the taxpayer. It's basically
Right,
that's
right.
it. So it would be part of that. I wonder if they would have the policy.
Yeah, I don't know, but I would like.
Okay.
I think that would come from the county commissioners to address
Okay,
that. I
yep.
would just like to have
Yes.
that addressed because I don't know. We should. I almost feel. I mean, it's maybe penalized isn't the wrong word, but I feel like we're being penalized to
Yep.
transport those
I
patients
agree.
and getting nothing for it.
Okay.
Similar instances is where Show Medical Center will ask for a transfer back to somebody's residence because they don't have a ride or whatnot. And so there's no other option other than us. And we,
Yeah.
correct me
So-
if I technically can't bill
Yeah,
that call.
there's really stringent rules on what qualifies for an ambulance transport
Mm-hmm.
for insurance and Medicare and Medicaid reimbursement. Private residence is not an approved location for transport, so if we transport anybody to a private residence, even if they're bedridden and can't get in a wheelchair, it doesn't matter. Those are legally not billable to insurance companies. We can turn around and bill the patient directly, but most of the time we don't feel that's appropriate. So we made an agreement with the hospital and the local nursing homes, where if the hospital's sending somebody home, we're billing them directly just a set. I think it's $500, which is significantly less than a full ambulance transport bill, but at least we're getting something for it. And the same things, nursing home can call for a patient to be transported to the hospital. That's covered by insurance. The return trip back to the nursing home by ambulance is not covered by insurance. So the nursing homes are also just paying us a straight $500 fee when that happens. So I would like to implement something like that
Okay.
for the same fee that we're charging the other local
Mhm.
agencies
Mhm.
from the sheriff's department when we transport patients.
Okay.
To
I
or
will-
from the sheriff's department.
I will run that through. I think what we have to do is kind of do that as a fee.
Mhm.
So we'll have to start with the ambulance board and get there. Yeah, we'll do it, and then we'll bring it here. And I think it'll have to be noticed out. And
Yeah, I just
We'll
got
go
an
and do it.
email this morning from the billing company, and I asked them to see if they could send me a copy of the language, which they haven't replied yet. But I was gonna want to run it by you, but
Okay.
I'll get something actually official in writing
okay,
and see if I can get the policy from them. But I'll bring it to the board and
Yeah.
then bring it forward. I just wanted to kind of make you guys aware
yeah,
of the situation.
and then I'll go ahead or you can go ahead and talk to Ben.
But
and see.
historically, you haven't gotten anything for those transports?
No, there's been a few that we've billed, and it's funny. I never see whether the money comes in or not. So every one of them that I build, I haven't always gotten an email from the building company saying, yeah, these aren't reimbursable. Sometimes I just don't rebill them and I just never hear. We could probably go back and audit through the records, but I don't ever go back and audit every bill because it takes months sometimes to get
Oh,
things reimbursed. So tracking that's kind of a nightmare.
so I think I might have misspoke because if you're charging it for it's a charge for everybody else. So really, it wouldn't be.
It's not a new fee.
It's not a new fee. It would be whether it was a policy.
Right, and I guess it was some
Okay.
policy in Shoshone County at some point, probably when the ambulance district was established. I'm not sure, or it could have. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it.
Okay, we'll look at it too, and then we'll get a hold of you. We can see if we can find it in our policies. And
Yeah.
okay,
I was talking to, I think it was Travis. I was talking to one of the providers who's been here a while. He remembers the conversation. He said at that time it was a conversation about they feel like the taxpayers were paying twice because they're paying taxes to be housed in the jail and all that should be covered, and then they were being charged by another taxing agency to transport them. That's why I don't feel like we should bill the patient for that. We just need to bill the county for it.
It's kind of like a double-edged sword if these patients are like nursing home, for example, if they're on, I apologize, I get this confused all the time. Is it Medicare or Medicaid?
They could be on either, but most of the
Either
elderly
one.
population's Medicare.
Regardless, it's about, we probably only recoup, would you say 20 or 30% of that billing to begin with, and then we're taking them to the hospital and getting 20% of that, and say an hour and a half, and then an hour and a half of taking them from the hospital back to the nursing home, which isn't billable, and so it goes to taxpayer fuel time. We're on one of those calls that we're not going to get any reimbursement back, and a taxpayer up the street is having an incident, and they're getting delayed care. It's kind of just like a double-edged sword across the block, and I think that's one we've mentioned multiple times, and these meetings that EMS is just not a money-making business
Yeah.
across the country.
Maybe have you talked to the nursing homes to say, hey, you know, because they have vehicles and things like that. It's like, well,
Yeah,
why
it's,
can't
it's
you know?
usually patients that can't sit in a wheelchair.
Oh, okay.
And our county does not have any like transport vans with bed capabilities. We
Okay.
only have an ambulance, so it's like that's the only way we can get them there. But
Oh,
they
you're
know
right.
legally it's not a billable claim, so we're just kind of stuck in the middle, and we don't want to tell them, yeah, sorry, we're not
Yeah,
taking this patient back. That has no other means to get back.
Exactly. I understand it.
It's just legally not a billable call.
Okay.
And the nursing homes they had no issue paying
Mhm.
that fee to transport them back. They're like,
Yeah.
it's cheaper to do that on an occasional basis for them to try to purchase a vehicle and hire a driver, and
Mm-hmm.
Right.
so
Yeah.
that's not been an issue with them.
Okay. All right. You guys didn't have any other questions or? No? None?
No.
Timmy? No? Okay. Anything further or anything else you guys want to discuss? Okay.
No,
Meeting adjourned.
maybe more next month when I've been here longer.